Hey guys, it's Julian here from Overdressed to Impress, showing you my deck profile for DBT09, Almajestar Astroea Unica. So to start off, we are going to run the grade 0, sorry that's grade 1, the grade 0. So when this is read upon, if you went second, draw a card, pretty standard stuff. You can run the crit trigger as your grade 0, I've seen some people doing that, but honestly I don't think it's necessary. I think if you play the build correctly, you should be seeing 3 crits by turn 3. Therefore, I really don't think it's necessary. Plus, not being able to draw an extra card if you go second really hurts. And of course, you'll be running then 15 triggers in your deck instead of 16. Like, it's a horrible, janky number. And I would strongly recommend running this as your grade 0. So your grade 1 is standard Spada. You don't really do much when you ride grade 1. She has some good rearguard skills and a road upon skill. So we run Dinah as our grade 2. And when you ride this onto Spada, you get to soul charge 2. And if you see a crit trigger, you get to draw a card. Not huge, it's okay, but it's not brilliant. I have hit it a few times, it's not very consistent, but the grade 1 and 2 are much better when rode upon by Unica, your grade 3, because you get to call both of them out. And they have some pretty good rearguard effects, turn 3 and 4, which let you just punch a bit better. It's good, they fill a column as well. The soul charge from 2, when riding upon this, means you get to refund the cost anyway, so you're not losing out any soul really. So yeah, the ride line's pretty straightforward, pretty standard. It's overall an okay ride line. I wouldn't run anything else personally. For the only grade 3s that we run are the persona rides, which are so important to run. You want to be seeing your persona rides, you want to be hitting those persona rides every turn that you can. For various reasons I will go through and move on. Again, we've got the Gratias Gradel because persona rides are super important. You want to be making sure that you see them as often as you can. And that's all we run for the grade 3s. So moving on to the grade 2 lineup now, we run 4 Kites Peak Griffins. We run these because they refund from drop into soul, so the triggers that you soul blast for Unica's skill, you can then refund them back into soul. And once you've used Unica's skill for the first time and put a crit trigger in your bind, Kites Peak Griffin gets 5,000 on guard, 5,000 shield on the guard, and it gets 5k power when attacking, so that's pretty decent. It's continuous, so it works on both turns, which that is correct, yeah. So it's pretty good run 4 of. Want to be making sure that you see those. Next, we run 3 of the Clean Sweep Dragons. So really good skill. When you persona road, you can counter blast 1, choose 3 cards from either yours or your opponent's rearguards, put them to soul, and then Clean Sweep gains 5k for each card put into soul by that effect. So a really strong card, really effective, but it makes it all the more important that you run your persona rides. So you want to be making sure that you hit these, because without these do not do anything. And it's super important that you do see those. But Clean Sweep, again, you could run this at a 4 easily. I think a 3 is enough, because if you see them in your hand early, you're going second, like you don't want to see these. You're only going to be discarding them anyway. So yeah, I think 3 is enough. You definitely could run 4 if you wanted to. But personally, I run 3 and that seems to work pretty well for me. Lastly, for the grade 2s, we run 3 extra copies of Dinah. So she is very good. I didn't think she was very good at the start. I never really ran more than the 1 copy in the ride line, but once per turn, she can counterblast 1, put 2 triggers from drop into soul, and she gains 5k. So she's like a more expensive version of Kites Peak Griffin, but the difference is she can do it once per turn, whereas Kites Peak Griffin can only do it on place. And when Unica is not a very counterblast heavy deck, I think it's quite easy. It's not a difficult cost, it's not expensive. So yeah, I have found a lot of use. Typically on a turn where you have a persona road, sort of these 2 would be your sort of main 2 attackers. So yeah, I'd run three of these. You could probably go down to 2 and maybe run a 4th Clean Sweep, sorry, if you wanted to, but I found pretty good ratio running that. So that's the grade 2 lineups done. So now moving on to grade 1s, because it's a Dark States deck, we run 4 Brainwash Swirlers. You don't really need a lot of explanation for that. Soul Charge 1 and gets 5k for every card Soul Charge, like Broken Card, super strong, very expensive, runs in every Dark States deck, don't need to go much more into that one. We run 4 copies of Gungan Ram, again another Dark States staple, a very good card, but also you can, so you Soul Blast 1 when it is placed on rearguard, and also once per turn you can Soul Blast 3 and draw a card, which is really good because with Brainwash Swirler and Gungan Ram, you're going to end up doing quite a lot of soul charging. So when you have too much excess that isn't triggers, or just your soul gets quite big and you just don't need that much soul anymore, Gungan Ram can help you draw a card. And along with the final grade 1 that we play, which is Capricornus, I run 4 of this, so every turn this can put a trigger from soul, from drop, sorry, into soul, or from hand into soul and draw 1. So again, you've got a lot of ways to either refund stuff, put it into soul, or soul charge, and Gungan Ram's super good because he just helps make your Brainwash Swirler larger, and he helps you get value from cards that you would otherwise just have stuck in your soul. So yeah, that's my grade 1 lineup. And then of course we have 4 perfect guards. If I was running this competitively, I would definitely be putting in a blitz order for things like Chronojet and eventually Messiah, and I suppose Dragon Tree to a lesser extent as well. So trigger lineups, we obviously run 4 of these. Really good to be able to put into soul if you need to. You shouldn't need to, but still it's always good to have the option there. We run another 4 regular crits. You want to see as many crits as you can. There's no reason to ever run less than 8 because you want to make sure you see those crits to be able to put into your soul. We run 4 heals, pretty standard again. I would probably replace at least one of them for the new effect trigger that gives 10k if your opponent's Vanguard is greater than yours. And lastly, 3 draws. Again, I would like to run an additional draw, but you can't cut down anything here, so 3 draws is fine. And lastly, the over trigger, because why not? That has covered everything, I think. So thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.